Dragon Ball Z is one of the most influential cartoons ever made, but Akira Toriyama never really cared about that. He just wanted to make an adventure. Something cool, and exciting, and fun. For kids. And there's an entire generation who can tell you how well he succeeded. Dragon Ball Z was my toast and jam as a kid, in that special way that sticks with you well into adulthood. I loved the fights, and the action, and the characters, everything about it. But it wasn't until a bit later, when I saw the original series, Dragon Ball, that I came to understand something about the franchise as a whole that I never really picked up on before. Bulma is the main character. This realization changed the way I look at the entire saga, and don't misunderstand, when I say that Bulma is the main character, that's not to say that Goku isn't, nor is it to diminish the role of Vegeta or Gohan or Piccolo or Krillin. The series did a fantastic job of utilizing an ensemble cast. However, when reflecting on the series as a whole, it's apparent that Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z together is essentially the story of these two characters, how they grow up and evolve through life, how they attract other friends, and how that circle of friends becomes more like a family. In the very first episode of Dragon Ball, these are the first two characters we meet, and their decision to travel together is how the series begins. When they first meet, Goku and Bulma are polar opposites, but quickly develop a chemistry and sort of complete each other. And even though it's not apparent yet, they're both heroic and gifted in their own way. Bulma seems like an ordinary teenage girl at this point. She's spoiled, bratty, dramatic, and flirtatious, and because of this, her talents aren't immediately apparent. But before long, it becomes clear that she's resourceful and a technological genius. On the other hand, Goku doesn't appear ordinary at all. He has a tail, he lives in the wilderness, he's super strong. Even though he's innocent to a fault and completely naive about the world, it's obvious that he's special. These two characters are like balls of clay, both with faults but brimming with potential. And as they set off together in search of the Dragon Balls, they also begin the journey towards their true potential. Really, a journey that lasts for the rest of their lives. Akira Toriyama isn't one to think about artsy-fartsy stuff. He's said that he never cared about his story being anything but entertaining, and I respect that. Dragon Ball is a show about adventure. Dragon Ball Z is a show about action. It never wanted nor tried to be anything deeper than that. But just because something is designed to be straightforward doesn't mean it can't become more than the sum of its parts. And when you look at these two shows together as two halves of one story, it becomes something else entirely. It's a story about family, about life and the passage of time, about friends who grow up together, and even though their adult lives take them in different directions, they always come together again when it matters. It's not just about fighting. After all, some of the most memorable episodes are the ones that take place between major arcs, when the characters are just taking it easy and enjoying each other's company. And in addition to that, there's also so many episodes that are just about training, seeking new plateaus of strength, bettering themselves, and raising their power levels. That's the big clue. The true constant theme that runs through the entirety of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z is growth. And that's life, isn't it? At 25, I'm not the same as the 8-year-old who first watched this show, but if anything, I can appreciate it more now than I did then, because if these characters teach us anything, it's that getting older doesn't have to be scary. It can be an adventure.